Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. And today I'm going to give my review of Survivor Series 1994. Starting off the evening, we'll go to our first match of the night. It is Diesel, Shawn Michaels, Owen Hart, Jim Neidhart, and Jeff Jarrett versus 1-2-3 Kid, Fatu, Shione, British Bulldog, and Razor Ramon. Number one, I thought it was a really good opening matchup for Survivor Series 1994. Back and forth matchup between both teams. 1-2-3 Kid and Owen Hart end up starting this matchup. And then Owen Hart and British Bulldog both exchange in the middle of the ring. Bulldog then lands a huge power slam on Owen. Bulldog then lands a suplex on Jim Neidhart. Looked absolutely devastating. Razor then hits a fallaway slam on Jeff Jarrett. Diesel then hits his signature jackknife powerbomb on Fatu. Pins him for the 3, and Fatu is eliminated. Diesel then hits a jackknife powerbomb on 1-2-3 Kid. Pins him for the 3, and 1-2-3 Kid is now eliminated from this matchup. Diesel then hits another jackknife powerbomb on Shione. Pins for the 3. Shione is now eliminated from this matchup. Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett then attack British Bulldog ringside. Referee counts to 10. British Bulldog is eliminated due to count out. Diesel then hits another jackknife powerbomb on Razor Ramon. Diesel then holds up Razor Ramon. Shawn Michaels is in the ring, goes for a super kick, but ends up hitting missing Razor Ramon, ends up hitting the super kick on Diesel. Diesel then is going after Shawn Michaels. Referee counts to 10. All members of Diesel's team has now been eliminated due to count out, and your winners of the match are the 1-2-3 Kid, Razor Ramon, the Head Shrinkers, and the British Bulldog. Hats off to 1-2-3 Kid, Razor Ramon, Head Shrinkers, and British Bulldog for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night. It is the Royal Family versus the Clowns Are Us. I thought it was an okay matchup. Back and forth matchup between both teams with Doink keeping the pace of the match. Doink then goes to hit a crossbody off the top rope, but Lawler turns it into a roll-up, pins for the 3, and Doink is now eliminated from this matchup. All in all, decent matchup, but the Royal Family ultimately get the win in this match. Hats off to the Royal Family for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night. It is Bob Backlund versus Bret Hart for the WWE Championship in a submission match. The match itself, I thought was a good matchup. Owen Hart did come to the ring with Bob Backlund. British Bulldog was obviously in the corner of Bret Hart. The match itself, like I had said, was a really good matchup. Back and forth matchup between both Backlund and Bret Hart, with Bret Hart keeping the pace of the match. Backlund then applies a chicken wing on Bret Hart. Bret Hart's mom ends up throwing the towel in the ring to stop the match. And your winner of the match, and at that time new WWE Champion, is Bob Backlund. Hats off to Bob Backlund for getting the win in that matchup. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night. It is Tantaka, Bam Bam Bigelow, King Kong Bundy, Tom Pritchard, and Jimmy Del Rey versus Lex Luger, Mabel, the Smoking Guns, and Atom Bomb. I thought this was a relatively good matchup. Back and forth matchup between both teams. Luger and Tantaka ended up starting the matchup. Mabel then hits a crossbody off the middle rope on Tom Pritchard. Pins for the 3. Tom Pritchard is now eliminated from this matchup. Mabel then goes for a top rope maneuver, but Bigelow throws Mabel off the top rope. Mabel then gets up, hits a clothesline on Bigelow, sends both of them out of the ring. The referee ends up counting both of them out. Mabel is eliminated. Well, Mabel was counted out. Mabel is now eliminated by count out. Bigelow then hits a moonsault off the top rope on Atom Bomb, pins for the 3. Atom Bomb is now eliminated from this match as well. Lex Luger then hits a flying forearm on Jimmy Del Rey, pins for the 3. Jimmy Del Rey is now eliminated from this match as well. Tantaka then hits a finish on Bart Gunn, pins for the 3. Bart Gunn now is eliminated from this match. King Kong Bundy then hits a splash on Billy Gunn in the corner, and then Bundy goes for an elbow drop on Billy Gunn as well, pins for the 3. Billy Gunn is now eliminated from this matchup. Lex Luger then hits a roll-up on Tantaka, pins for the 3. Tantaka is now eliminated from this match. Bundy then hits a splash on Lex Luger, pins for the 3. Lex Luger is now eliminated from this matchup, and your winners of the match are Tantaka, Bam Bam Bigelow, King Kong Bundy, Tom Pritchard, and Jimmy Del Rey. Hats off to Tantaka, Bigelow, Bundy, Pritchard, and Jimmy Del Rey for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we go into our main event of Survivor Series 1994. It is Yokozuna versus The Undertaker in a casket match with Special Enforcer Chuck Norris standing ringside. The match itself I thought was a really great matchup. Back and forth matchup between both Yokozuna and The Undertaker. Undertaker was keeping the pace of the match. King Kong Bundy then makes his way down the aisle. Bigelow is also here as well. causes a distraction with Chuck Norris. Ernar Shyster somehow gets in the ring, attacks The Undertaker. Irwin then throws Undertaker in the casket. Jeff Jarrett is here. He makes his way down the aisle as well. Chuck Norris then attacks Jeff Jarrett. Undertaker then hits a big boot, sending Yokozuna into the casket. Undertaker then closes the casket door, and your winner of the match is The Undertaker. A couple of things I'm going to say about Survivor Series 1994. Number one, it was a really good event. It really was. And I've said this multiple times, man. Survivor Series is one of the top 4 pay-per-views that WWE has ever presented to the fans and as a company. I mean, you have Survivor Series, you got SummerSlam, you got WrestleMania, you got Royal Rumble. Survivor Series has always been synonymous, in my mind, for professional wrestling because it was always a team format. And some of these teams that they put together, man, were always pretty, I mean, for what it's worth, pretty damn good. They really were. I mean, even the last Survivor Series match on this card, it was Tantaka Bigelow, King Kong Bundy, Tom Pritchard, and Jimmy Del Rey versus Luger, Mabel, Smoking Guns, and the Atom Bomb. Fantastic matchup. Then you had the main event, being the casket match between Yokozuna and The Undertaker. I've stated this multiple times, man. Yokozuna, there'll never be another Yokozuna. Ever. I mean, Yokozuna, you know, it's the same thing we said about Andre the Giant. There'll never be another Andre the Giant. You know, obviously, there's big men like Big Show and Giant Gonzalez, Undertaker, Kane, Vader. Just name a couple big guys in professional wrestling, but there'll never be another Yokozuna. You know, Yokozuna, when he came into professional wrestling, man, I mean, number one, he came in as a heel. But the size and stature of this man and the way he moved in the ring was absolutely insane. It was the same thing about Bam Bam Bigelow. I mean, Bam Bam Bigelow was coming into the ring, majority of his matches, about 350 to almost 400 pounds. And he moved like he was a light heavyweight. And honestly, there'll never be another Bam Bam Bigelow. There'll never be another man that size that can move at that fast of a pace with his weight, his size. So, you know, with Yokozuna and The Undertaker, I mean, it was one of the best rivalries to me that Undertaker had. I mean, obviously not the best, but one of the best. I mean, obviously, I think Undertaker's best rivalry that he ever had in professional wrestling was Mankind. But Yokozuna did give Taker a run for his money. And Yokozuna, it was really hard to wrestle Yokozuna because it's not like you're going to really get a body slam on this guy. Now, credit, yeah, Luger hit a body slam on Yokozuna on the USS Intrepid. We all seen that. But at the same time, too, Yokozuna was a strong dude. I mean, his finish alone, that bonsai drop, I mean, the way they were hyping Yokozuna up, it was even before, was that, you know, he ended a lot of people's career with the bonsai drop. I mean, I think Yokozuna was every bit of, I probably want to say close to 500 pounds. And hitting that bonsai drop was just brutal. I mean, absolutely brutal. And, you know, God rest his soul, man. Rest in peace to Yokozuna. But if he was still alive today, man, he'd be an absolute legend. Absolute legend. Multi-time world champion. And would have had phenomenal matchups in his career. 100%. As far as me giving a rating to Survivor Series 1994 out of a 1 out of 10, I'm going to give Survivor Series 1994, man, a solid 7.5, almost 8. Well, 7.5 probably at best, man, because to be honest, it's obviously not the best Survivor Series, but there was a lot of notable matches on here. The casket match, the main event, was absolutely phenomenal. To have Chuck Norris come in as a special enforcer, him attacking Jeff Jarrett, was just absolutely amazing. The Survivor Series tag team matchups were outstanding. I mean, even, you know, the first match, I mean, Team Razor was absolutely amazing. I mean, you had 1, 2, 3 Kid, Razor Ramon, the Head Shrinkers, and the British Bulldog all on one team, man. Absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to give Survivor Series 1994 a solid 7.5 at best. But this is my review of Survivor Series 1994. I hope you guys are out there staying safe. Be careful, and remember, stay classic. Peace.